Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE with another Snowflake Viewpoint. Woo! Guys, boys and girls, I am tired. My God, the last 48 hours have been absolutely exhilarating for me. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I really hope you do. I will come to you guys in the chat in just a moment. If you haven't already noticed, my throat is a little bit sore, but I have managed to do content with it, all things considered, and you might not notice it too much in the videos that I've done. So I have content all completely done for tomorrow. I just have some short videos to do Wednesday and Thursday, and then they will be covered, and then I've got all Friday to do. I'm not going to do three main videos. I'm just sticking to two this week, just to recover. I probably am going to do a news round. I was planning, actually, before this wrestling weekend I was planning to actually introduce something special for Mondays, something similar to news round, but obviously, given my voice, I decided to hold off on it for now. What that is, I will reveal. No, I'm not going to reveal, actually. I'm going to hold off on it, actually. I'm going to surprise you guys with it next week. Is what I will do. But let's see, who have we got in the chat today? I'm going to scroll up on my phone. Verti starts us off here. Now, there is some kind of civil war going on, or was there something in the weather forecast? Tories crying like raining. To be fair, Verti, I have been completely off politics and news over the weekend, completely switched off of it. As I said, my Twitter feed is full of wrestling stuff, believe it or not. I've basically blanketed politics and news for only today I've kind of gotten my head around what's been going on, reading up on a lot of stuff and whatnot. So But yes, I'm aware about Nadine Dorries. Well, we're not covering her today because I think quite a lot of people have already covered it. But about her. But yes, but I hope you had a good weekend nonetheless, Verti. Jal says, good evening all, good evening Verti. Good evening Jal, good to see you buddy, hope you're well. Hey guys, hey Gingers, good to see you there, bud. Hope you're well over there in America. Chatty Rat says, good evening all, good evening. Chatty Rat, hope you're well. Alistair Keir is here, up in the Highlands of Scotland. I hope you're well, buddy, good to see you. Who else we got? Everyone saying hello, hello, hello to everyone. Ben Shaw says, good evening everyone. Good evening Ben Shaw, I hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you there. Anybody else? Duke Vengeance says, everyone in UK is so tired. Even the air traffic control has had enough. Yes, we are actually going to be covering that a bit later, Duke. Believe it or not, we are. Hello, number 3. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope your channel's doing well, my friend. Hope you know. Everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. Jal says, REGANELITE, that video about Platoneer is an important one. Yeah, I did a video like very early on in my channel about, not too early actually, like a few months ago, and I got hit hard with where one or two common people were saying basically that some of the things that were in the article were misleading or whatever from Open Democracy. That's why I stepped away from it and I come back to it, to be fair. Just going to tell you guys, if you hear, like, I do have something in my mouth. I'm taking some whole Susas, if you haven't known. My voice is not perfect. It's probably because I've been to not one but 2 wrestling shows over the weekend, so my voice is a bit weak. But it's okay. It's managing to be fair. You'll see from the content I've done today. So number 3 says I'm bored with politics. Yeah, that's why I have wrestling as my gateway, as well as work over as well. So Simon says, evening all, good evening. Simon says, hope you're well there too. Have I missed anyone else? Don't think so. I think that's everyone. Okay, excuse me. Oh. Yeah, definitely voice box not feeling 100%, but we're going to go crack straight into it because that's what we guys are here for. Hopefully I've got this set up right. Oh no, I have not got the screen set up right. I thought I had it set up right. Okay, that should be okay. Right. So we start from the BBC, guys. This one I thought, quite interesting. So from the Bibby Stockholm, migrant barge faces legal challenge over fire safety, guys. So what's this about? So the government plans to accommodate asylum seekers on the barge in England's south coast faces a possible legal challenge over fire safety. Now, obviously, we know that they were numerous warnings about the fire safety from the fire unions about this, about the health and safety of it. So this should not be coming as a surprise to anyone, if I'm pretty honest here. Good evening, Casper. I hope you're well. Hope you had a lovely weekend, buddy. So, government plans to accommodate asylum seekers on the barge in England's south coast faces a possible legal challenge over fire safety. So, lawyers for the Fire Brigade Union, the FBU, have written to the Home Secretary Suella Braverman raising issues including overcrowding and fire exit access on board the Bibby Stockholm. The government has been given until Thursday to respond. As of this right now, guys, I haven't seen any response from them, so I could be wrong just on that one. Home Secretary Suella Braverman says, I am confident the barge is safe. Yes, guys, the barge is safe. The Home Secretary says the barge is safe. So if the barge is safe, that means that the asylum seekers were not taken off it because of a possible contamination in the water. Right, just putting that out there, guys. The Bibby Stockholm is a free storage barge currently berthed in Portland, Port Dorset, which is intended to hold around 500 men while they await the outcome of their asylum applications, if they ever get processed with this current government. The first people were moved onto it at the start of the month, although they were later removed when the Legionnaire, you guys know I'm terrible with the word on this one, Legionnaria bacteria, which can cause serious illness, was detected. Matt Wack, the General... Sorry, it just sounds totally wrong. The General Secretary of the FBU said the union had moved towards a legal challenge after spending weeks of trying to raise concerns with the government. Union previously described the vessel as a potential death trap. In a letter to the Home Office, lawyers for the FBU cited media reports which said that the Bibby Stockholm had only 222 single occupational rooms, but the additional beds have been placed in each order to increase the capacity to 506. Other reports said that while the barge had 3 fire exits, one was not operational because it was at the end of the gangway and had been deemed too steep to be safely used. Well, that's not good, is it? A whistleblower in the local authority was also quoted as telling the Times that fire checks in July had led to serious fire concerns and described the barge as having the potential to become a floating Grenfell. Obviously, there has been similarities. Obviously, people saying we could have a potential Grenfell 2.0 with this barge, and the very thought of that is just feels really, really bad. You know, I really don't want. You know, I don't know why we're so eager to punish these innocent people. You know, they're just trying to come in here with the intention of a better life for themselves. You know, we've talked about this before, guys, where they're just being treated indifferently simply by colour of their skin or the nationality or all sorts of rhetoric when they are human beings no different than you and I, guys, and it's pretty disgusting to say the least. Jal says the barge looks safe. Why not lodge the British Parliament and the government members on it? Yeah, well, to be fair, Jal, the Houses of Parliament needs refurbishing, so they could actually all stay on there and do their debates and everything on there, can't they? You know, use the outdoor space inside it. That's a great idea. The FBU previously asked to meet Mrs. Braverman to discuss its concerns, but the request was turned down. I'm confident the barge is safe, she told BBC Breakfast when asked about the FBU's concerns. This barge has accommodated people in the past, asylum seekers, oil rig workers, and barges of this kind have been used to accommodate asylum seekers, for example, in Scotland. The Scottish Government has said that Mrs. Braverman's statement was not correct. No vessels have been used to accommodate people seeking asylum in Scotland, a spokesman said. We have made it clear to the Home Office that vessels are not suitable accommodations for people seeking asylum. The spokesperson said that the Scottish Government had temporarily housed Ukrainian refugees on cruise ships. Housing asylum seekers in barges cannot and should not be compared, the spokesman said. These are fundamental differences. Yes, guys, if you know the difference between a cruise ship and a barge, let me know in the comment section. Mrs. Braverman accused the FBU of carrying out a political attack on the government. They want to stop us. It's like they were dealing with a range of forces that want to stop us from stopping the boats. They're all gleeful about the prospect of us not putting people on the barge. Putting them on the barge does not solve the issue. Doesn't solve the issue, guys. It really doesn't. She said that the government have followed all the protocols from the Fire Authority, Dorset Council, the police and the Health and Safety Executive. Mr. Braverman was unable to say on BBC Radio 4 Today programme when people would go back to the Bibby Stockholm. It would be as soon as we complete all the relevant checks. Yeah, what about those flights to Rwanda that they were going to get sent on as well? How's that going, Mrs. Braverman? How's that going? She said she was frustrated and angry about what had happened, adding, I take responsibility, the buck stopped with me. The buck stopped with her, guys. She should resign. She has failed in her duty to stop the boat, so she should resign. If she says, here go, I take responsibility. So she's taking responsibility, guys. She must resign. Yep, she's got to go. If you're that person. Buck stops with me. Okay, you need to go then. Colin, good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend, buddy. Greetings from New York, from the Big Apple over there, from the Big Apple. The Home Office spokesperson said the health and welfare of asylum seekers remains the utmost priority. The Bibby Stockholm successfully completed all fire and safety checks ahead of its first individual boarding. The vessel completed a statutory inspection and refurbishment before undergoing fire preparations to accommodate asylum seekers. The barge is already facing a number of legal challenges, including the refugee charities representing individual migrants over whether the government has secured the appropriate planning permission. The latest challenge comes as the Home Office considers plans to fit people arriving illegally in the UK with GPS tags as an alternative to detaining them because of the lack of space in the immigration detention estate, according to the Times. This thing about putting GPS tags on them. What on earth is that all about? Like, that's just criminal. Like, okay, if there are criminals, that's a bit different, but like, I mean, it's just ridiculous, guys. And yes, guys, I am going to be drinking more water. As I've said, my throat is not 100%, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see this legal challenge. So they've got till Thursday, the government, to respond to it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with regards to this. Let me just scroll back up to see if I've missed anything. What you guys are saying? No, all good there. Kia says, Pagan, I'm not bored at the moment. Will never be until Indy from Scotland is in the long hole. Where's Pagan? I can't see him in the chat. I can't see him in the chat. I'm going crazy. If you are there, chat, Pagan, I hope you're doing well, buddy. For some reason, I can't see you in the chat. You haven't muted me by mistake, have you? I hope not. Lodging human beings in boats in the 21st century in a supposed developed nation. Any connection to political X? Saw his book, same last name. I presume that the relevant civil service added against a barge. I also presume that their advice was ignored, says number 3. I believe so. I mean, they've already ignored lots of advice from experts, haven't they, number 3, to be fair. People still ask me because they want to know, oh, I wonder in these videos, why do the Scots want to be independent? Yeah. A new hospital, quick, order 40 more, says number 3. I've got a video coming on that, actually, believe it or not, number 3 at some point this week, with regards to 40 new hospitals. We used to have it here, but we cleaned it up to replying to Jow. I saw some news about water quality and it actually surprised me negatively, says Jow. I saw the EU relations help my country become cleaner and a safer place. I was in my early teens and never forgot it, Jow says, replying to Gingers. Oh, there you are, Pagan. Now you've appeared. Now trying to put a tunnel under Stonehenge following Sharp's footsteps in being a prick. Okay. Maybe switch to all messages. It should be on all messages, to be fair. I'm not suppressing any messages, to be fair. YouTube being anti-pagan. Yeah, probably pagan, but I can see you now. I don't know why I couldn't see you earlier, but I can see you now. I didn't change anything. Good evening, Hugh. Hope you're doing well. Hope your channel's doing well as well, buddy. All of it would be one smart ass right winger with a Molotov and a disaster awaits, says Duke. Yeah, not good, guys, not good. Let's move on. As a certain YouTuber would say. I hope that's the right. Let me just check that's not the right. Wait. Is it? No, that's not right. There we go. Right, that's right. I was rushing to get the cameras right for this. Sorry, I don't know why. I was a little bit not as prepared as I was normally. You think I would be, considering I was off today, but significant disruption as passengers stranded off the UK air traffic control fault. Considering we had a massive, this is a bank holiday weekend. There were so many events going on as I was at one. This was an absolute headache for a lot of people. The air traffic services, the NATS, said the technical issue affected its flight plan system had been identified and remitted, but travellers continued to face disruptions. Passengers have been told to expect delays of up to 12 hours after air traffic controllers across the UK experienced a technical fault. In an outdated statement this afternoon, the National Air Traffic Service, the NATS, said the technical use affected its flight planning system had been identified and remitted. The travellers continue to face disruptions. We are now working closely with airlines and airports to manage the flights affected as efficiently as possible, Nat said. Our engineers will be carefully monitoring the system performance as we return to normal operations. The flight planning issues affect the system's ability to automatically process flight plans, meaning the flight plans had to be produced manually, which cannot be done in the same volume, hence the requirement for traffic flow restrictions. Our priority is also to ensure that every flight in the UK remains safe, and we are sincerely sorry for the disruption this is causing. Please contact your airline for information how this may affect your flight. Will you get a kind of refund or rebate for being delayed by up to 12 hours? No. 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 You won't. NATS did not give an estimate of how long it would take to fix the problem or what had caused it. That's really helpful. Heathrow Airport has said flights will remain significantly disrupted for the rest of Monday despite the technical issues with air traffic control being resolved. Spokesperson said we asked passengers to only travel to the airport if their flight is confirmed and is still operating. Teams across Heathrow are working as hard as they can to minimise the knock-on impacts and assess those whose journeys have been affected. Meanwhile, British Airways have told passengers no flights will take off until 6 p.m. on Monday and that all check-in desks are closed. The Transport Secretary Mark Harper has written on X, formerly known as Twitter, that despite resolving technical issues behind today's air traffic control issues, flights are still unfortunately affected. The Air Date will encourage all passengers to read the UK Civil Aviation Authority guidance and be aware of their rights when their flight are delayed or cancelled. So what has it said? What airport said about disruptions? NATS has confirmed that it fixed the technical issue. As air traffic controls will disruptions will cause continue. So London Luton Airport said the earlier technical issue with the air traffic control system has now been resolved. However, widespread disruption continues across the UK airspace. Manchester Airport said as a result of the nationwide technical problems experienced by NATS earlier today, there continues to be flight disruptions, including delays and cancellations. Newcastle International Airport said we understand that the technical issue. Yep. So pretty much Newcastle, Stansted, Heathrow all got affected. So it's yeah, not good. Home Secretary Suella Braverman has sympathised with anyone impacted by the air traffic control problems. I don't think people want your sympathy, by the way. The issue is evolving right now as we speak, she told broadcasters on Monday afternoon. What we do know is that there's a national outrage at National Air Traffic Control and it's affected UK airspace. It will affect all incoming and outgoing flights and also those aircraft which are in the UK airspace right now. Yeah, of course they would be affected. So glad that the Home Secretary understands the concept of how this works, guys. I'm very congested that this will disrupt people's travel plans. Those who are waiting to arrive in the UK, those waiting to depart, and I do sympathise with any disruption which may be experiencing. European Air Traffic Authority, Eurocontrol, and Irish Air Traffic Control, AirNav Ireland both warned significant delays across Europe after the fault was first announced. The Liberal Democrats have called on the government to hold an urgent Cobra meeting, while the Labour Shadow Transport Secretary said the fault was extremely concerning. Don't think a Cobra meeting is necessary, but I don't think you'd get them all in the room anyway, even if you did. Some 3,049 flights were due to depart from UK airports today, and another 3,054 flights were scheduled to arrive, with around 1 million passengers on board. Travellers have been told to expect severe delays of up to 12 hours. BBC presenter Gabby Logan says she'd been caught up in the issue. She posted on Twitter on the plane on the runway at Budapest Airport after almost 3 weeks away from home. I am hours away from hugging a family. We have just been told that the UK airspace is shut. We could be here for 12 hours, so we sit on the plane and wait. Sky Science correspondent Thomas Moore is one of the passengers stuck on British Airways flight at Heathrow after flying from San Francisco overnight. Speaking from the plane, he said the aircraft actually landed ahead of the schedule, but since then has been stuck on the tarmac. The pilots told us we're in the queue for the gate because all the aircraft are given priority landings. We can't get away, so everything is stacking up now, he said. We have an update saying that they're trying to find all space for all the aircraft that are coming to wait, having to queue. This is going to have an impact. There are planes taking off, but we have been told that various aspects of computerized system used by air traffic control aren't talking much to each other, so everyone is having to be done manually. This means things are taking longer than they would be. Normally this would be one of the busiest runways in the world, but it looks very quiet now. Oh dear, so you can see there, planes are all over the place there. I'll just remind those who are just popping in, yes, I'm chewing on site because I have a bit of a sore throat from the weekend, just to remind you. So I am trying to recover my voice. Let me have a quick read in chat before I carry on. Everyone's saying hello to everyone there. I've gone too far forward, haven't I? Death Ship shows Jow. Maybe, yeah, read that already. Thanks for that, Jow. Yep, like, share, and subscribe. Yep, that'd be very helpful if you guys can do that. Windows needs to update, probably, says Duke. Yep, it's an update. Yep, they forgot to do the update. That's probably why it was. Yep. This weekend coming is a holiday one for us, and that's when I'm flying out, says Gingers. Oh. Keir says they're still running Windows 7, I heard. Oh, I knew it. They still haven't upgraded. That's clearly the issue there. One Avery Pagan says, "Hail the orb!" Oh, the orb is here. I will show the orb in a moment. In this soon. Don't worry. Around here, the only disruption that exists was a strike, and the flights did not stop. And whoever needed to be refunded was refunded, says Joe. That's good. Good for Portugal for making sure people were looked after. Home Office oversees the air traffic. Yeah, I don't know what. I think it's because it happened when she had an interview or today or whatever. She was asked about it, obviously. So that's probably why That's probably why her comments were inserted, because she was put on the spot on it. All hail the orb, says Kier. UAP, not an orb, says number 3. Cyber says 55. He wanted you to be out, so maybe 12 hours was a bit short to get in. 12 hours sounds like an All Shorts live stream, guys. Definitely check out that guy. Can see him now sitting at an airport talking to you guys for 12 hours. Windows 7, Windows Visa, and I have my doubts if it's not XP. Cruella has sympathy. Yeah, I know, Duke. Who would have thought? Get on the small boats, says Gingers. Oh, wait. See what you did there. Government used to still run Windows 98 about 10 years ago, so, Keir says. Post-Brexit, UK travellers seem to wait a lot. Yeah, it's become a habit, Colin. I don't know where that. I don't know why it's happening. She's posted on Twitter, still known, or X, still known as Twitter. Yeah, I know. People keep saying that. When it comes to government computer systems, they often use whatsoever is the cheapest versus what works, which means older computers and systems, says Duke. Yeah, cheapest option. Yeah. Use my flight plan app on my phone. It has very little flights over the UK, says Kia. There are a lot of European mechanisms to refund passengers, says Jow. That is why they were unable to provide data. The EU asking them to give the Windows a framework as they're still copying to a disk. Most companies stick to using older computer systems because it's cheaper. Yeah. Colin says to Jow, I don't think this Brexit is working. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I don't think Brexit is related to this. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is, guys. This country is crazy nuts, is number 3. Bonjour for everyone. Departure in southern France, says Tom Nielsen. Good to see you, Tom. Hope you're well. Bonjour to you. And I am glad to be Canadian, says Colin. Canadian from New York, from the Big Apple. For 37 billion, you could have given every citizen 4 new iPhones. Really? 4 new iPhones? Wow, you learn something new every day, says there, Simon. George Zephyret was stuck on a plane in Palma for about 3 hours before moving off the aircraft. She said passengers had been told all planes were in the air at the time, since they've been diverted to other countries. While still on the plane, which is set for London Gatwick, she said, we're on the tarmac in Palma. We got on the plane an hour ago. Shortly after got on the plane, flight man announced said we just like we're going to be leaving for a while because there's issues with air traffic control across the whole of the UK. We've been sat on a plane for about an hour, still haven't moved. I don't have much information, but staff said there's no point in us moving just because we can't actually go anywhere. There's people who have been sleeping at the airport since yesterday, so it's completely at capacity inside as well. There's a lot of children on board here. It's a lot of babies. It's a 3-hour flight. I haven't got any food. They've come around and offer water to everyone, but that's it at the moment. See, I hate this. I hate this, guys. When they're stuck on a plane and all you've been giving them is goddamn water, you should be offering. If you've got food on the goddamn plane, forget the money. Like, just give them what they need. Like, and if they have curious kids and the kids need to get off the plane, let them get off the goddamn plane. You know, if you're going to be there for goddamn hours, just give them the space they need. Give the passengers the breathing space they need. Yeah, just give them what they need. Like, only offering water for... Am I the only one who's frustrated by this? This is so frustrating. Oh yeah, just give the animals some water. Yeah, that'll keep them going. Like, that's the mindset that comes to my mind when I think of this comment here. That's the mindset that comes to my mind. You know, they're just bodies going from one place to another. It's infuriating. Ryanair and England were the first airlines to confirm several flight cancellations to and from Dublin and Cork Airport. The Eurostar said it would add an extra train from Paris to London at 8:43 this evening after the airline disruption. Well, you think so, guys? You think so? I think we need to. Why am I? Hold on, I'm in the wrong. Why are my screen going all the way here? I don't know. That's a bit worrying. Right, there we go. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. You know, guys, corporate advertising is quite evil, guys. What do I mean? Well, judge for yourself.
Now, from a PR standpoint, your corporate image is terrible. So I've been working on an advertising campaign to give your company a complete image makeover.
Okay, give it to me.
We open with a shot of cliffs and ocean. It's raw, untamed by man. I want to reconnect the brand with nature.
Ooh, nature, that's good.
Sorry, Chief, one of our oil tankers crashed off the coast of Greenland.
Have the press got a hold of it yet?
No.
Well, there's no need to worry about it for the moment.
Okay.
Sorry, nature.
Now we cut to a forest. A family are camping, and a small child looks in awe at the wildlife.
Turns out palm oil is cheaper than regular oil.
Switch to that. I'm back in the ring.
Now we go to that same family in an estate cleaning up leaves with the slogan supporting local communities.
So I've sacked the workers and moved the factory, but now the local politicians up in arms.
Tell them we'll sponsor a roundabout or something.
Now that same little child smiles up at her parents and gives them a big hug.
Children are a gift.
We can reduce labour costs if we use 7-year-olds in Bangladesh.
Do it. I'm all yours.
Music-wise for the ad, we wanted to go with a local indie band.
Very wholesome.
But turns out they want to be paid, so instead we're going to go with a sound-alike.
Serves them right.
While we're on that sense of place, your Irish identity is one of your greatest assets.
We are very proud of our Irish heritage.
Just found another tax loophole.
Great stuff.
But we'll have to move the headquarters to Singapore.
No problem there.
Didn't think so.
Sorry, where were we?
National identity.
Terribly important.
How about we stick a shamrock on all the packaging?
Inspiring.
Finally, the company name. Evil Industries, it just isn't friendly.
Really?
Now, it's very fashionable at the moment to be environmentally friendly,
Okay.
so how about Eco-Evil Industries?
Would we have to change anything?
All you have to do is ban plastic straws in the canteen.
I like your style, sir. You're hired. Welcome to the team.
What are these?
They help you sleep at night.
Doomda.
Help you sleep at night, guys. Yeah. We all need a bit of help sleeping at night, that's for sure, guys. That is for sure. I hope you guys like that one. Don't forget to hit the like button if you can and share across social media. It is greatly appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed News Round on Friday. If you didn't see it, go check it out. Definitely some content there. As I said, I'm going to have a similar thing going next week on Monday. A similar thing. I'm not giving it away what it is, but make sure this is the right one there. Yes. But we got... this is a very annoying one, guys. So we're going to go for a nice funny video to something very annoying, but I'll just go have a quick look in the chat before we switch. Just seeing anything else. My intermediate rage has burned itself out and now I'm sort of normal again since Duke. I still use VHS and cassette tapes and some older stuff still works since Gingers. Pagan says, hoping we can ditch the rights after next year and actually start to utilise the ingredients for human advancement, including tech. Yeah, we do need to use more tech, that's for sure, but we're behind as a country, that's for sure. Progressivism, bring it on, says Duke. This is eerily true, says Jow. Everything right, Duke, says Pagan. Still have a recorder and audio tapes, but I do not use it as much as my desk is gazing at my phone, says Jow. So. Right, it's from The Guardian, guys. The headline, UK union says cutting maternity pay for striking pregnant workers is immoral. That's because it is immoral. This is exclusive from The Guardian. Uniting Unions to join campaigns is urging the government to exempt strike days for maternity calculations. The UK's two biggest unions have backed calls for a review of the immoral system where nearby pregnant workers lose a portion of their maternity pay if they go on strike. Unite and Unison joined campaigners calling for the government to exempt strike days for maternity pay calculation so that new patients are not penalised twice for taking part in industrial action. Statutory maternity pay and some contractual maternity pay is currently based on an average of the person's earnings during the 8-week period running up to the 15th week before the due date. Any missed dates, such as for strikes, jury duty or sickness, brings down this average and can leave patients with a shortfall of hundreds or even thousands of pounds during maternity leave. Unite General Secretary Sharon Graham says it is totally immoral to penalise pregnant women who stand up for a decent pay against greedy employers by cutting their maternity pay. Current rules on this are a disgrace and amount to yet another attempt to undermine the right to strike. I can assure you that Unite will not allow our members to be attacked this way. Unison General Secretary Christina McAina said strike action was a last resort but represented a basic human right. Apologies there, the missus is opening the door. They're so creaky here. She says pregnant workers and new mothers already struggle with spiralling costs, workplace discrimination and threats to their jobs. They shouldn't face a financial penalty for exercising their right. This loophole has to be closed. Absolutely, guys. I mean, this is just infuriating. Like, we're talking about people who... We're talking about pregnant people here, for crying out loud. I mean, it's just... Yeah, they'll discriminate anyone, this government. Anyone. They will. Maternity campaigners have warned that some people would feel prevented from striking while others are taking part in strikes, unaware that this could have a negative impact on their pay when they become a mother. Jodie Brewery, the founder and the chief executive of the maternity rights charity Pregnant Then Screwed, said it was unfair and potentially discriminatory that the right to strike comes with more severe consequences for pregnant workers. That's the thing. Why should it be worse for them just because they're pregnant? Why? Why should that be the case, guys? Let's see if anyone's saying anything here. If the UK is immoral, in the EU it's illegal. Yeah. The darkness is still spreading, says number 3. I'm trying not to see too much Doris. It's bad for your mental health. Yeah, if you see a lot of Doris, it's bad for your mental health, Joe. That's why I'm not really covering her tonight. I wasn't feeling in the weights tonight, but I've done it anyway, says Duke. Yeah. Just a reminder, folks, this channel has a Discord server. Yep, the Snowflakes server, guys. Anybody's welcome to join. That's completely free. Link there from Jal. Thank you, Jal, for that. The law needs to change, she said. The law needs to change to ensure, in exceptional circumstances, pregnant workers still meet the qualified threshold for maternity allowance, statutory maternity pay, and occupational maternity pay despite a decrease in earnings. Exceptional circumstances should include industrial action, jury service, and business going bust, redundancies, and furlough pay. In 2021, Pregnant Then Screwed won a legal victory against the government over calculations of the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme, the EISS. Introduced to support people during the pandemic, the Court of Appeal ruled it indirectly discriminates against new mothers. Beverly added, it seems to me that there are similarities in between the two. One woman who works in admin at the university in a job that has suffered more than a decade of real terms pay cut said that having voted for strike action before she found out would reduce her maternity leave, she then felt conflicted and was advised by her unions to continue working. She said, I decided not to strike because maternity pay is shit, even though it is without strike action bringing down any lower, she said. I'm surprised she didn't, I really shouldn't have said that word, guys, but I actually can't believe the article, they didn't beep that out. It's not like them to not beep out swear words. Obviously, it's really frowned upon crossing the picket line when you're in the union, especially because I voted for strike action as well, which is a big thing for me. I suggest it's something I believe in. I think it's really important that we strike. She worked from home during the strike because she was not ready to tell her colleagues the reason she was unable to strike. It's difficult because early in pregnancy, not everyone wants to tell people they're pregnant, she said. A couple of weeks after the strike, somebody did directly ask me because I hadn't seen me on the picket line, and I had to be like, oh yeah, I was striking from home. Then I felt awful because I'd been lying about it and I hadn't been striking at all in a comfortable position to be in. At least if you're retiring, you could be honest with people. In July, Leeds City Council Deputy Leader Jonathan Pryor, who wrote to the government requesting a change in the law. In a letter seen by the government, the Parliamentary Under Secretary for State Responsibility for Maternity Benefits, Lord Younger, said the government did not plan to change its position. He wrote that the government recognised that there were a number of ways maternity pay could be affected during the 8-week period, these including taking a temporary wage reduction, taking time away from work due to illness or being on strike. We believe, however, that the current calculation of balances that needs to achieve a representative reflection of women's earnings in a way that is consistent for all while ensuring a straightforward calculation for employers. He added that this avoids the need for complicated rules around which earnings should be used, provide charities for women and their employees, and reducing the potential for disputes over entitlement. On this basis, we do not plan to change the method of calculating entitlement to and the rate of statutory maternity pay. Pryor said it's incredibly disappointing for the government to believe that a pregnant woman who takes strike action should be hit twice financially, while anyone who isn't pregnant should only take the financial hit once. It is right to go on strike. It is fundamental in our society. Just because the government doesn't like it doesn't mean they should be able to penalise people like this. The Department for Work and Pensions has been approached for comment. And what do you think they've said? Nothing, as of right now anyway. So yeah, looking after our people, guys. Looking after our people. What's the chat saying? This shouldn't even be a discussion point. Of course they should be exempt, says Pagan. Yep. Rage mode is activated, says Pagan. Yeah, I know. This wouldn't happen in the Scottish NHS. Scottish government would stop and then mums they get baby boxes and get the new babies a good start. Yeah, you guys got a great system. You know what you guys do for newborns is fantastic over there. Absolutely fantastic. Talking about All Shorts. They're covering about what was All Shorts covering. I saw something about it in All Shorts and something else I don't remember where, but frankly that bobbing head of Doris gives me the creeps. I don't know. I don't want to know what that is. Number 3 says the real concern is that is type of money. Jal says to Pagan, one is that EU law that UK law should have kept. It was credited with the EU, the UK still in the EU. Simon says 55 says for 13 in Finland, both parents get full pay parental leave. Yeah, they look after their people in Finland too. They really do. In Finland, a fair comparison? No, Finland is not a fair comparison, Colin. No, I don't think it's a fair comparison at all, to be fair. Giles says to Colin, it's the goal over here. I've already burned my rage out. Someone else can have a turn, says Duke. Well, Pagan's done a bit of it, to be fair. Is Portugal a fair comparison? I'll let Joe answer that one, to be fair, because I'm not sure. But yeah, this is infuriating. It's not fair, and yeah, very frustrating, guys. Let's move on, shall we? Let me just check I've got this on the right one. Yeah. So Suella Braverman back on there. Going back to Sky News, guys. So police must investigate every theft as the Home Secretary is challenged over the number of new officers. So Suella Braverman says it's unacceptable that crimes such as shoplifting, criminal damage and phone or car theft has been treated as less important. Police force must investigate every theft, the Home Secretary said. Suella Braverman said it was unacceptable crimes such as shoplifting, criminal damage and phone or car theft has been treated as less important. Forces have a commitment to follow all reasonable lines of inquiry in an effort to improve investigations and drive down crime rates. It follows a previous commitment for forces to attend every home burglary in a new set of standards announced last year. Don't have enough officers. Like, you would think that a statement like this, you would say, absolutely, there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing this. But the reason we can't do this is because we have a very corrupt police force. I'm going to say allegedly. And we don't have enough police officers, believe it or not. We don't have enough court services. And it's just kind of like taking the mick, really, basically telling lesser officers that you've got rid of to basically say, you guys need to do more. That's kind of how it feels for me anyway. Speaking of Sky News, Mrs. Braverman has challenged over whether there would be any new resources for police officers to deal with the initiative. The Home Secretary claimed 20,000 new police officers have been recruited, even though they cut 20,000 police officers previously, allegedly. It was pointed out that this was only after a similar number of police officers were cut under the previous Conservative governments. Mrs. Bradman said it was wrong to say that there are only 3,000 new officers, despite her own government figures showing that there are 149,000 officers currently compared to 146,000 in 2010. That doesn't sound like a lot of police officers. We've got a record number of police officers ever in the history of the police, and the Home Secretary said. Undoubtedly weakened in every way. The standards we're setting, the body published guidance for officers in England and Wales to consider all potential evidence such as footage from CCTV, doorbells and dash cams as well as phone tracking if it could lead to a suspect or stolen property. The College of Policing said the public would therefore want to know what they can expect from the police when they report such a crime as burglary or theft. The commitment agreed by the Home Office, the National Police Chief Council and College of Policing comes as part of a Crime Week of policy announcements planned by the government. Writing to Police Chief Mrs. Bradman and her Deputy Policing Minister Chris Phipp highlighted that new guidance was being provided to officers on how to solve burglaries. This includes telling officers it was important to attend a crime scene within an hour. Figures attained by the Liberal Democrats earlier this year showed that 2022 to 2023, 76.8% of burglaries, a total of 213,279 cases in England and Wales were closed without a suspect being identified. That's scary. Martin Underhill, a former detective chief inspector and police and crimes commissioner, told Sky News that the police have been undoubtedly weakened in every way by Conservative governments, saying that austerity cuts led to lost experience, noting that he did not consider himself experienced until he had worked for 10 years as an officer. Labour branded the announcement a staggering omission of 13 years of Tory failure of policing and crime. Confidence in policing damaging. Announcing their plans, Mrs. Bradman said the police have made progress in preventing crime across the country with neighbourhoods offenders like burglary, robbery and vehicles down by 51% since 2010. Despite the success since I became the Home Secretary, I've heard too many accounts from victims where police simply haven't acted on helpful leads because crimes such as phone and car theft are seen as less important. That's unacceptable. It has damaged people's confidence in policing. Criminals have no place to hide. The police commitments today is a huge step forward towards the victim-focused, common-sense policing that the public deserve. Speaking to Sky News, Mrs. Brennan said, what this is about, it's about things like robbery. It's about phone theft, it's about watch theft, it's about mugging, it's about vehicle theft and street-level drugs and use of drug dealing. It's ensuring that installing confidence in the public and that police will follow up what they see leads if they have actionable evidence. So if a victim of crime comes forward and has some evidence that there is a car being resold online of a victim of crime at CCTV, footage of a burglary being committed or a robbery taking place, if they can provide information from a Find My Phone tracking app or GPS data, if there's a small smell of cannabis on the street, those kind of things, these eventual leads will be sufficient now for the police to take action and follow these up. And that's modelling on a successful and pioneering approach taken in Greater Manchester Police. We follow every reasonable line of inquiry to working to increase the charge rate, increase outcomes for victims and increase victim confidence. She's told the Telegraph that there's no such thing as a trivial crime. Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper said this is a staggering omission of 13 years of failure of policing and crime. Pursuing reasonable leads like CCTV is what the police should be doing, but because of abysmal Tory management, over 90% of crimes go unsolved. The proportion of crimes prosecuted has dropped by more than 2/3 and criminals are getting off. Yeah, there is a lot of crimes getting off, unfortunately. That is for sure. It's frustrating to say the least, guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover the Trump one, just based on time, but as I said, guys, I ain't going to be doing the Discord chat tonight because my voice is a bit high now. I am going to probably hit the bed a bit earlier, to be fair. But before I go to bed later on, we need to speak to this man. I think this is... it's not the man from Portsmouth, I think. I'm sorry to say, guys.
The Shadow Minister is with me. Shadow Minister, the Conservatives are planning to take every free school meal from every eligible child, throw it in the River Thames, then concrete over the river to build a new high-speed rail route.
It's a callous act. It's truly barbaric. This is a new low for this government.
We are hearing a lot of criticism from you on the government, but not many plans of your own. Your party does seem to be quite low on detail.
Well, our plan is simply not to do that.
Right, and how are you going to cost that?
I'm sorry?
Well, quite simply, how are you going to pay for not taking away children's food and throwing it in a river?
Well, we'd let the children eat.
Right, more unabashed spending, your critics might say. Where is this money coming from? What are you cutting?
We cut the bit where you concrete over a major river.
Right, and at a stroke, cutting thousands of jobs and diminishing the rail routes in the process there. No answer from the Shadow Minister, very revealing. Next up, the Secretary of State in charge of concreting over the river is wearing a hard hat, and I must say, it does look rather sexy. Secretary of State, one word, foire.
Oh dear. I've got no good news for you guys today, unfortunately, because I could not find one, guys. I really did have a look for one. So I am sorry for that, guys. But I do have. I don't think I'll cover the Trump story just because of time. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'm just gonna have a look at the chat. Actually, I should have a look at the chat before, because I know you guys were probably saying stuff about the. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Solarity Cat. Good to see you there. More work for an overstretched service. Sound is familiar, says number 3. If it's important, then increase the police staffing levels in, says Kia. Yep, absolutely. Pagan says, well, effing duh, this is our effing Home Secretary, WTF. Yep. An employer fires a pregnant woman will be fined, investigated, and pay a very punishable severance payments. All rights to the fired employee, says Jow. Oh, rightly so. That's good. Not to be a conservative, BAST. I remember Finland and Portugal getting blistered during the credit crisis. I wonder if the comparison of the countries makes sense. Yeah, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. More like no one Home Secretary, says Tom. Yeah. She wants a medal for having 3,000 officers more when Boris promised us 20,000, says Duke. When is a crime not a crime? When it occurs in a high society office, is number 3. Good evening, Leeds. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Anything else? My brother, already kept more thugs, fewer regulations, neo-Nazis, says number 3. Trivial crime, never heard of that one. Maybe a trivia murder. Yeah. Here it is said the reports of crimes is effing down because people don't have confidence in their own effing police service. Yeah, there's how much of this factoring in the lack of criminals, crimes not being reported, you know. All crimes are serious. Seriously, Tories? Yeah, I know. Weed is not a crime; it's the cure, says Simon says. I wouldn't know. I haven't smoked weed, so I'm glad you're able to tell us that weed is not a killer. Until they properly vet and train police officers, it's no good getting more of them, says Solarity Cat. Yep, lots of people smoke weed here, and crime is not higher, or even hard drugs consumers. In fact, it has decreased, says Jow. He does a good Corbyn impersonation, says Colin. Yep, referring to the funny video we just had. Lots of criminals in Westminster still roaming around freely, says Solarity Cat. Yeah. This we'll probably stop after this one. This one is a couple of days old, but I never really got round to recording it. But I think so you guys know I've been covering the Dan Wootton story through Barline Times for a while. This one, I don't know how I missed this story, guys, from Open Democracy, but this is interesting to say the least. The headline here is crowdfunding site used by Wootton has ties to shadowy think tank links. Democracy 3.0 hosts campaigns by politicians but lacks transparency about donations. It was only actually because Barline Times tweeted this article that I actually found out about it as well. I couldn't see it. I didn't see this on Open Democracy. If I'd seen it like on their homepage where they have the main stories, I would have opened it, but I obviously didn't see it. So, the founder of an online crowdfunding site that hosts campaigns led by MPs and parliamentary groups is linked to the UK's influential Christian right, including the notoriously secretive Licinium Institute think tank Open Democracy can reveal. Founded in 2021 by Andrew Hopkins, it is also the founder of former chair of Pollsters Comres. Democracy 3.0 offers an online petition plus crowdfunding model, allows people to promote a campaign while also raising funds to support it. It claims it helps causes to promote the common good, but appears to appeal mostly to the hard right of the council. Hosts often religiously infected campaigners that challenge sex education in schools and the rights of trans people to use the changing rooms. Our investigation found Hopkins is linked through another company to key Christian far rights as well as a number of think tanks, most notably the pro-Brexit Licinium Institute, part of the Licinium Group network, which recently helped fund GB News to the tune of 60 million. GB News presenter and Daily Mail columnist Dan Wootton is currently asking for donations on the site, as is ex-Tory MP Andrew Brigham, who appeared on the channel after being kicked out of the Conservative Party after making comments comparing the COVID vaccine rollout to the Holocaust. Lobbying expert and author Andy Rao told Open Democracy he was concerned about the think tank's links to Democracy 3.0. The network of dark money, free market and neoliberal think tanks, which do not disclose their funders, continue to undermine and erode our democracy on a daily basis, he said. Democracy 3.0 advises donors that it is on hand to help you use the funds that raise you to buy in the experience needed to maximise your chances of success. Horsford's clarified this on the former Liberal Democrat leader Tim Farron's podcast, saying that he hopes to democratise lobbying by allowing donors to pay for lobbyists, lawyers, pollsters and PR professionals. So links with the Christian Conservatives. Hawkins is also a director of the Ad Omnia Ratavenga Trust, which was formed in March. Other Ad Omnia directors including Tory peer Philippe Pastrode and her husband David, a pastor and community leader at Christchurch, London, which said it wants to play a significant part in cultural, social and spiritual renewal of the capital. There is no information on what Ad Omnia does, and Stroud's entry on the Parliamentary Register of Interest states that it is a charity equipping Christians for Cultural Review. A Freedom of Information request by Open Democracy has revealed Ad Omar has not registered with the Charities Commission. Stroud was also CEO of the Licinium Institute until March this year, and is both the co-founder of the former leader of the Centre for Social Justice, CSJ, and the head of the new anti-climate change think tank, the Alliance of Responsible Citizenship, the ARC, which says she founded this year with controversial Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson. Both the Licinium Institute and the CSJ had the lowest scores for transparency in Open Democracy 2022, Who Funds You? Investigation into UK think tanks. Last year, Open Democracy revealed that the Licinium Institute is among a number of think tanks with close links to ministers that receive dark money donations from shadowy US climate deniers. The Charity Commission previously demanded the Licinium Institute remove a report titled Brexit Inflation Point for breaching political impartiality, according to a 2022 Barline Times report. I have more water if this runs out, guys, don't worry. Ad Omnis and other directors also have ties to these organisations. Reverend Nean Bottas is a member of the ARC's advertising board, while Zoe Vickerman is a former director of the CSJ. I don't like this at all, guys. Rao, who co-wrote A Quiet Word, Lobbying, Crony Capitalism and Broken Politics in Britain, added, as our world burns, there is an intertwined network of people linked to the Licinium Institute and the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship who promote climate denial. Any crowdfunding site linked to these organisations should be a real cause for concern. Christian rights have been making inroads into government for a number of years, and while still relatively niche in British politics, its growing influence is hard to ignore. A number of government ministers, including the Home Secretary Priti Patel, spoke at this year's National Conservatism Conference in London, which includes speeches from Christian MP Marion Cates, Danny Croghan, Jacob Rees-Mogg, and contributions from influential Christian thinkers. Stephen Brickhouse, a historian of Christian thought and an authority on the political theory of nations and nationalism, told Open Democracy that the power being held by evangelical Christians in the UK was hugely disproportionate and their representation in society as a whole. Of Democracy 3.0, he said, "All I see is powerful minorities telling themselves they are powerless and feel aggrieved against the democracy majority because they are no longer in charge of common sense. The Christian entitlements to rule runs very deep, and what roses from the beast is a slumber more than anything else." He added, "These Christians care far more about losing their cultural power than they do about anything that Jesus said or did care about." Anonymous campaigners and vague policies. Let me just come into the chat before we finish reading the rest of this, guys. Dirty Dan still rounds to Solari Cat. Yep, there hasn't been an update from Barline Times. They did have a story, Barline Times, but it's pretty much essentially just a run back of what they've already covered, and basically confirming that there's been no response whatsoever from the mainstream media. I was going to cover it, but I never got round to really covering it for a video, to be fair. The smell actually makes me gag, talking about weed there. I hate zealots of any kind of that size. Think tanks, that's an oxymoron. Think tanks, tick tanks, stink tanks more like. Thick tanks, and not in a good way, says Jow. Propaganda pods. We're coming up with names, are we, guys? Pastures and sleep, not my thing, and these people are religious as a TV seller. These climate deniers have spent more time tied to a road than during the peak of the summer heat, and then let them deny that we had excessive heat, says Jow. Good evening, Context. I hope you're well, buddy. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for keeping an eye on the server. Wasn't really paying too much attention to it, to be fair, over the weekend. Simon says to number 3, make 2 cakes last month, cheap, easy, and easy to douse. Gingers 2, Solari the Cat says, I think they are the definition of oxymoron. Solari the Cat says, Dirty Dan still out there catfishing and being poor excuse for a human being. Yeah, I know. Jow says, we had August heat since last July until last Friday. Who knows what winter will bring us now. Yeah, it's going to be not going to be nice. Everyone talking about the weather. Everyone talking. Ben Shaw says the family is a good docu drama showing how the Christians, evangelicals are busy deep into the most governments around the world. All the US presidents are always involved. Yeah, they are. That's true, Ben. That is kind of true. Right, let's read this last lot, guys, and then I'll wrap it up. So, anonymous campaigns and vague policies. And many of the campaigners on Democracy 3.0 have strong Christian links. These include a Keep Kids Off Porn, which is run by the Centre to End All Sexual Exploitation, whose CEO spoke at last year Everything Conference. Another run by the All Parliamentary Group for Dying Well, which Australia has raised over 16,000 to end medically assisted suicide. I have a video later this week about assistant dying as well. That's going to be an interesting one, guys. Definitely worth checking that one out when that drops. Our investigation also reveals that unlike funding drives on other online platforms, several Democracy 3.0 campaigns do not specifically precise where and how donations will be used. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't drink so much water. Of the 23 campaigns hosted on the site since its inception, 5 do not name a recipient for the money, including one that raised nearly $3,000 to buy Bibles for Ukrainian citizens. A vehicle drive-through campaign does not say how donations will be used. Fronted by a teenager who refers to herself as B, but is in fact Hawkins' daughter, the campaign aims to reduce litter and nudge people into being responsible by encouraging fast food outlets to print vehicle registration numbers on their packaging. Donations to Beer's campaign, which has been running for nearly 2 years, and has no closing date could be held indefinitely, as Democracy 3.0 policies allow it to hold money from donors in a secure account pending the campaign's close date. This is unusual. Donations made on other crowdfunding sites, including the popular platform GoFundMe, go directly to fundraisers and are not held by the platforms. The site's policies also state where money has been raised to cover legal costs, in the event of those monies are unspent, Democracy 3.0 reserves the right to reallocate surplus net funds to other similar cases. How this similarly is determined is not clear, and Hawkins has not responded to Open Democracy's request for comment. Although Democracy 3.0 claims it does not endorse or authorize any campaigns or publicly generated content on the platform, its activity on Twitter and now X appears to contradict this. Ad Omar, which shares an address with the Christchurch London, is not the Strauss only Christian initiative focused on cultural review. They also host the annual Everything Conference, EC, in London, which aims to get Christians into every walk in life and industry. So when the Lord answers our prayer, they have people to help people come to faith. The EC website states it is an initiative of Christchurch London. Neither Strauss nor Hawkins have responded to our questions regarding the purpose of the Ad Omar or the links between Ad Omar, EC, and the Lycopodium Institute. Yeah, not nice. This is very frustrating. Just more shadowy work by people in power. You really got to be careful with these sites, guys. You really have to. Let me just get that one. I just want to make sure that's ready to go. Okay, so guys, I've got one more funny video for you guys before we head out. Yeah, I'm still quite exhausted, obviously. I've got just to give you guys an update. So content is done for tomorrow. I have a little bit to do on Wednesday and a little bit to do on Thursday. Friday should be able to do news round pretty solid. And as I said, I've got a similar new project similar to news round that I'm going to be working on Monday for you guys, which I'm not sure how it's going to go, but hopefully I will have that. It's going to be similar to news round that goes on Friday. The only thing I'll give away of what it is that it will drop if it is successful and I can make the time for it. It will be every Monday. It will premiere every Monday 6 o'clock, just like news round will do. But it will be a little bit different to news round, a little bit different to what we do here. So definitely worth checking that out, guys. I know we are doing really well as a channel. I just also want to say I don't know how we've ended up near 300 subscribers, but we are near 300 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. So maybe next week, if we pass the mark, maybe I'll do a bonus live stream or something, guys, where I'll do like a host of Q&As or something. I'll do a community post Q&A and do a Q&A sort of live stream where we can basically I'll answer some of you guys' questions and stuff. It can be politics or whatever. I think I might do that for 300 subscribers if we pass that number, guys. Because I think it'd be nice just to kind of have a bit more of a positive live stream rather than just always doom and gloom. I know I do some funny videos and good news try to drop as well, guys. But thank you guys so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. If you guys can hit the like button, it would be really helpful. Share across social media as always, guys. And if you hit the bell notification icon, you'll be informed of when I go live and when videos drop, guys. But just for you guys referencing, even if you don't have the bell notification icon, I normally drop at least 2 videos a day, Monday to Friday, 9 AM and 3 PM UK time. There are no videos that drop over the weekends. Weekends are free for me, and they should be free for you guys, hopefully, as well. Yes, of course, I completely forgot about the orb, guys. I really do apologise. Also, guys, I don't like the background. Ben Shaw said last week he wasn't sure about the red background, so I've gone for a bit of a purple theme. Let me know, not in the live chat, after the show, guys. Drop me some messages in the comments what you actually honestly think of the colour, or maybe I should just go back to blue, having the same colour as go back to blue, basically. I'm just trying to theme things up, and I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, if I'm honest, guys. So I really would like some feedback on that, if that's at all possible. But before we go, guys, before you have a rest of your great week, we have one more for the road, as you guys know. I don't know what I love Max too much, guys. I do like I do love the guy, to be fair. Yeah, definitely. I will definitely should be on Max, hanging out in Max's live stream tomorrow. So if you guys do come in and join us there, it'd be greatly appreciated as well. But one more video here, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this, and then I'm going to hit the outro button. So guys, thank you guys very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, supporting. As always, I greatly appreciate it, guys, and I hope you all have a great week, whatever you're doing. Take care and good night.
I feel like you're at a transition point at the moment. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of unrest. Yeah, I feel that. I do. And they're telling me it will get better. Yeah, that things are going to change. Yeah, and I feel that very strongly, actually. Thank God for that, because I can't go on like this. You know, some people go through their whole lives and nothing changes. You know, perhaps it's not meant to for them, but yeah, no, I do get that very strongly. It's going to change for you. You're going to crack it, and that's going to be amazing. Well, but how long will it take? Because I've been coming here for 6 years now. I'm being told it's a life's work. It could take 30 or 40 years, but yeah, you do. You just got to trust that process. 40 more years of this? I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. Look at me. That's a good thing. Yeah, I really feel that. Yeah, it's about feeling and embracing that, because life is a journey. You know, it's about understanding and learning and accepting who you are. Yeah, it's about the journey. It's not about the outcome. It absolutely is about the outcome. I'll wait 40 years, crack it, and then I'll die. What's the point of spending all this money? What a load of bullshit.
Yeah, what a load of BS, guys. If all they're going to do is take your money. Good night, everyone, and take care. I won't be in the after chat, but if you guys want to hang out in the after chat on Discord, you're more than welcome to. But I will not be joining you guys. So take care and good night, guys.